Perfect. That it just makes us where we can be more accurate with the typing because like we can go back and look at what we may have missed or not missed.
Sure.
You know, because it's all like live. You know, I mean, like we're trying to type you live, but if we're able to
Yeah.
go back and check the footage later, we can make sure that we got your type 100% correct. You know, just
Okay, no worries. Yeah, as you wish.
okay. So I'm Mercer, and that's Shelly.
Hi, Mercer.
All right, so we're just gonna ask you questions,
Hello, Shelly.
and you
Yes.
just answer them however you feel comfortable.
Okay.
So introduce yourself.
Okay. Do I have to give like personal information since it's going to be live?
You could no, you could just leave anything you want to tell. You could tell. If you don't, you don't. You know, just whatever you
Okay.
feel
Well,
free about.
yeah. I'm 29. 29. I work at like I do a couple of things. I do teaching. I do private lessons. I teach English. I'm Turkish actually. I live in Turkey. Um, I do like some administrative work. I do some document translation. So basically, like a language instructor, translator kind of good job I got. And thing is, like after pandemic, something's changed, and like a lot of my friends moved out and stuff. So I'm not as social in my physical life, let's say, as much as I wished for. So I mostly keep my socializing to like Discord or like chat groups. I don't use social media, but I'm pretty active on these chat channels like WhatsApp or Discord, and I keep in touch with friends, etc. I try to hang out with them. I try to socialize at work, but I feel like it's kind of like lacking these days in terms of socializing. So maybe it changed me a bit. I feel like I'm embracing more of my introverted side. I feel ever since the pandemic thing. What else can I say? I don't have that many hobbies. I like reading. I enjoy reading very much, but I also got ADHD, I believe. It's not conclusive, but one psychiatrist said like you show some evidence of that. It wasn't a psychiatrist I went for like a serious problem. My school had like a free psychiatric service, and just I was like a bit depressed then, and I went there for like a general evaluation kind of thing. What else can I say? Yeah, I can't read as much as I'd like, but I appreciate what I read. I love poetry. I enjoy reading philosophy, thinking, talking about philosophy, abstract concepts. What can I say? Like the grander questions in life. And as such, I'm not super physically active. I would wish to be more physically fit just for the sake of like health and appearance. But it's not something I enjoy very much. Like I like sports. Sports are fun. The game part itself is very fun. But I can't just. I'm not the type of guy to enjoy like doing like a gym routine. Let's say, lifting weights and like running and stuff. Like it's mostly painful and like annoying for me. What else? I suppose my relationships have been pretty turbulent with my maybe overreactions and emotional outbursts that kind of kill that rapport or like the connection you have with someone. Because like I feel things too deeply and intensely, I feel, and also I set people to like a very high standard. So when I feel like those needs are not being met, or like when they're not considerate enough of my feelings and they do certain things, I kind of lash out pretty aggressively, verbally, of course, not like nothing physical, but it kind of destroys relationships, I feel, or like scares people at least. Other than that, I have like very long lasting friendships. I'm grateful for that in real life and online, like over 10 years, 15 years, some of them. And I think I'm generally liked by my friends, but I have this argumentative side of me that's a bit fiery, and I don't back down from verbal or any kind of fights. I don't like to back down. It's hard to do that. I just gotta finish that to completion and like go all the way with that kind of stuff. Like I'm trying to be more prudent, let's say, about that. Trying to pick my fights more carefully, because like I'm the type of person, if someone wants to argue or fight, like I'll do it and go all the way. A bit fiery character in that sense. I think that's about it that I can come up with. But if you have specific questions, I'd like to answer.
Okay. How was your childhood?
My childhood.
Whatever you
That's
want
a
to
good
reveal.
question. Like, yeah, I don't feel I was particularly privileged or anything, but I had caring parents. But in different ways. Like my mom was like totally loving and like I love you as you are and do whatever you want and I'll still love you and support you type. And like my father was more achievement, success oriented type of person, but he still wanted me to be successful and supported me, but he wasn't that much affectionate or like accepting, let's say. A bit more like he wanted me to perform in order to kind of praise or anything like that, show warmth. But I'm lucky to have them, I suppose. Like I had my fights with them a lot, both of them in some ways, and they're also kind of like fiery people in their own ways. But it wasn't that bad. Like I had the, let's say, privilege of like getting a decent enough education, and like they supported me for my external things. Like I want to get music, so we could buy a guitar, etc. But like I suppose they were kind of controlling in the way that they didn't like let me go outside whenever I wanted, or like stay with friends, or just be involved actively outside. Like they wanted me to be at home and be safe and do like more intellectual things, I suppose. Studying, like whatever it is, read books, but like don't they didn't support that party life. But that's, I guess that changed with like college for me. I became more social, like open and outgoing in that way. Yeah, that's kind of thing. I don't have any kind of like very serious significant childhood thing that kind of changed my life so much, so to say. But like my parents didn't get along very well, and like they ended up separating after a while just because of the constant conflicts. That affected me, of course, like emotionally, etc. But also brought some freedom. So it wasn't all bad, I guess.
So, what did you go to college for?
Oh, I went for English literature.
Do you are you currently doing that as a job or like
Yeah. Like I said, I'm Turkish, so it's not my main language, but I use it in my job for this document preparation, translation, and like being like a guide to new foreign teachers or any kinds of like foreign inspection stuff, and also teach like speaking lessons to Turkish kids, that kind of stuff. So it's really related to English itself, not as much literature, but yeah, I do use it in my job.
do you what attracted you to English literature? You hear what I'm saying?
Like anything else, like and my English was my best subject, and mostly my love for like poetry and like novels and books. Like I would, in my free time, I would just read, and the games I played, video games that I played, also gave like a good background in English. There was a game called RuneScape, and I had to learn English mostly because of that game, so I can do quests and understand the tasks, etc. And like over time, with like chatting people, it was like an MMO. So you also chat with people and like say lots of stupid things, and they correct your English, and it kind of helped me a lot in that way because I played it very often. And they correct your English.
Okay. So, like, how's the dating world for you? Do you like it? What do you like about it? What you don't like about it?
Dating?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I like it, but it goes between a cycle of idealizing the person and then being disappointed by the reality of it. And it's something that's pretty hurtful, and like I feel not very fair for the other side either. I think I've developed like romantic attachments very quickly. It can be very intense. Like my feelings for that person can be very intense right off the bat, and it's like scary. Like most people would like to take their time and understand the person. And usually, like the thing is, by the time they develop those feelings, my interests have moved on a little bit, so to say. Like it's not as fresh anymore. I already felt so strongly, and it wasn't requited or like returned. So I kind of like search elsewhere, but it's like a timing that's a problem. But I do enjoy the whole flirting, getting to know someone closely phase very much, and meeting new people, and it's exciting to me. But like I feel like I mess up in the long term. Like I'm very initially successful, I think, compared to many people I know. but like it's I don't turn it into like a long-term strong thing. Unfortunately, like my emotions, neurosis gets in the way, and like my fiery side gets in the way, and like I can't be. I'm not super good at seeing someone like as they are, or let's say what they want from me. It's like I'm more myself focused on what I feel and what I desire. Not in the selfish way, but like I just can't read those situations super well. I feel like whatever I feel is like right, and the reality is usually not like that.
So when you when did you know that you wanted to do literature, English literature? When did it dawn on you that you were going to do English literature?
I mean, honestly, maybe the last year of high school, because I was like I went to like a science and mathematics high school, and like I hated everything. Like I hated all the science, all the maths. We had so much math and science classes. Always my English was super good, like best of the class. But not the other subjects I didn't enjoy. But like my father wanted me to either be a doctor or like some computer engineer or something like that. So we didn't want that. So he didn't support that at all. But like I thought, like I can't do anything else. I won't be able to graduate with college if I pick anything else. So I went with literature, something I liked.
So you talk about like your feelings a lot when you're talking. You're saying like if people don't respect your feelings, you kind of get upset.
Yeah.
And you say like you feel these feelings intensely, right? Correctly, if I'm correct.
Right.
Okay. But generally, you get along with people pretty well, right? You seem like somebody who has a lot of friends.
I think so. Like I like to see the good in people, and like I find in most people something interesting about them, like maybe different to me or something they're much better than me at, and like I'm interested in their life experiences, and like I want to connect with the person. So, and I feel like I have decent enough values that that is good for like if it's not like an intimate emotional relationship that brings out all the chaotic like expectations, or let's say like forcing your way through some conflicting, like if it's like a normal friendship, it's not that difficult. So yeah, I can build like a good decent rapport with people and keep being good friends, like but there's of course like an intern filter thing going on. Like I can't do that with just anyone. It's mostly people who also are like emotionally aware in ways at least, and even if not they're super aware emotionally, they're like intellectually solid. So that's the two things I care about mostly.
Okay.
Their intellectual side and their like emotional side.
Okay. So like what is something you would like to be remembered for?
Remembered for? That's a good question. I don't know. I guess like valuing some things that are overlooked, and like bringing a different approach to life and living. It's like more of a romantic type, not in the sense of like love romance type, but like romantic in the sense that value things such as like emotion, or like the abstract higher things, idealism, let's say, and just like bring a different approach to the world in that way, maybe.
Do you have any siblings?
Yeah, I got one sister.
You say you have a sister?
Yeah, one.
How's your relationship with her? She older, younger?
Oh, younger, 4 years younger. It's really good. Like we're good friends. We get along. We respect each other, and have good conversations. Usually supportive, as good as it gets.
Okay, so I'm gonna ask you a out of the norm question. Have you ever thought about leaving Turkey?
Yes. I did. Maybe it's gonna happen in the future. To be honest, like I'm not totally against it, but like I also don't want to be that far away from my family and the friends here, etc. And like I got lots of favorite spots here that I'm attached to, in that sense. And also like I don't enjoy traveling very much. I feel kind of uncomfortable when I'm in an area that is not very familiar for me, or like I mean, there's like novelty in it, and I enjoy it very much. The few times I went outside the country, I enjoyed it a lot. Like different world, like super exciting. But also, like mostly, even if I'm like traveling internally to some holiday place, the best part of vacation is going home and like staying in my bed. So I guess I'm like a home type of person in that way.
Okay. What is 3 words your friends would use to describe you?
3 words. Um, they would probably call me intellectual, passionate, and maybe a little annoying sometimes.
Why you say annoying? Why you say that?
I can be too much. Like, there's like a good time to stop a conversation or like respect someone's boundaries and don't push that too much. But like, I kind of enjoy being like, breaking character, not like doing something out of the ordinary, saying something out of ordinary just to like get like an interesting response. Or things like that a bit. Or like, I like to, not exactly troll, but I kind of like to annoy my friends sometimes just to action out of that.
You seem like a pretty laid back and cool guy, man. To me, that's personally, I think you
Thank
sound
you.
like a pretty laid back, cool guy. You seem like
Thanks a lot, man.
you seem like you're a pretty happy guy. What do you think?
I'm not a very happy guy. Like deep down, I'm always like emotionally very turbulent, and like I considered not being alive for a very long time. But and like I heard a lot about such things, for example, relationship problems or like breakups or like any kind of things, someone close to me dying, etc. Like it hurts like hell. I can't leave my home. I can't leave my bed to even go to toilet sometimes. Like generally, I find something to be hurt and upset about all the time. I'm trying to change that, but like my outer personality is like I'm like pretty cheerful, fun type of person, like good, easy to talk to in many topics. But I feel like when I find myself alone or like deep down, I'm like a pretty sad person.
And what do you think cheers you up? Cheers you up when you're sad?
Shoot. Oh, okay. I do like very small things. For example, like food I eat is like especially good that day, well prepared, tasty. Those small things I appreciate very much. But also like I like social things. For example, feeling liked, admired, appreciated, and like feeling like valuable among people I care about, etc. That also makes me very happy. And like sometimes I find or come up with or like read like a very profound thought or idea, and that makes me happy. Like I realized or saw something special. Like those things also make me happy. And like beautiful poetry, music, like art that's generally like viewing any kind of beauty, being in nature, trees, looking at the sea, and like those things bring me happiness.
What's like one advice you would give to somebody? Like the best advice? Yeah. If you were gonna give
like
one,
general life advice.
yeah.
Um. Oh, that's a hard one. The thing is, I got lots of advice that comes from my own personal shortcomings or the ways I fucked up in. So it doesn't feel fully authentic and true to give that advice to someone when I do the same thing myself. But I guess I would say, whoa, that's so hard. The thing is, I'm such a sad person that like sometimes I feel like I shouldn't give advice to anyone at all. Like anyone else is probably doing better than me in that regard. Like if they're gonna follow my advice and be miserable, then don't do that. But like I guess one general thing I would be like pretty generic it's gonna be, but like to and beings and kind as much as possible.
Okay. What do you think? What's a quote that represents your life motto? Like, do you have like a life motto?
Like
Like,
quotes.
yeah, like a quote. Like my quote would be. I'll give you an example. My quote is, "You get a lot more out of life being in attack mode than being in defense mode. When you're in defense mode, you only get what life gives you. When you're in attack
That's a
mode, you
good
get a
one. I
little bit
like
more.
that.
So, what would be your quote?
I guess mine would be that the world must be romanticized.
It's a pretty good one. It's pretty
Thank you.
good. Um, if you were the captain of a ship, what type would you? We're just going to talk about a type here. What type would you, if you were able to take 3 types with you on a mission? Which types would you take and why?
As a captain, take 3 types of people. Okay.
Types
Well, I
like
would get
INTJ, ENTJ. You pick.
Oh, okay. That's a good one. I would get one ENFJ. Just to fix the shit I break in terms of like diplomatic stuff. Like, I will not be able to get like a consistent good rapport with all the crew, but ENFJ could kind of delegate that for me, like fix those diplomacy things. ENFJ would be very good. They got pretty good SC as well, so ship stuff, they would be okay. ENFJ, ISTP 100%. I need someone to be handy and like pretty chill about like the brutal side of things and like good at responding to things like something breaks and stuff. ISTP would be good. ENFJ, ISTP, and I would get oh, good question. Let me think about it. Maybe an ESFJ. You know, we need that type of person to make some good food out of the fish we catch. Like ESFJ would be like good at catering to us and like make sure our beds are prepared well, toilets are clean, etc. It kind of sounds like I'm demeaning them, but like we need someone to improve our lifestyle in that way in that ship.
Yeah. So you got an ENFJ, an ISTP, and an ESFJ. It sounds like a pretty legit team.
Yeah.
So you don't think you're pretty diplomatic as a person?
I try to be as much as possible. Like I feel like my observations help me a lot in that, in terms of people and things. But if my emotional side takes over, I can be really like destructive and caustic a bit. And like maybe if all my passion's too much, I will alienate some people or like make them feel like what they want doesn't matter and stuff. And like that kind of can mess things up. Or like when it comes to an argument, like I said, I don't like backing down. So like I kind of force my way through that and then make that person feel kind of dominated against their will in a conversation or like any kind of debate. Like I gotta be more careful with that. I try to be.
Why do you feel the need to not back down? Like what like makes you like get into the not back down mode?
I don't know. It could be maybe parts of the upbringing because like what I've seen or like what I heard is that like if you don't take shit from anyone, then you'll be better off. Like you won't get bullied, and you won't do things against your will, and things like that. But like you can overdo that, of course, and like always impose your own will and what you want, and that's a problem. And like sometimes there's no real point. I just don't wanna. That one thing that bothers me is that if I think I know better than someone in that way, like intellectually, just knowing the information better than that person, like I can't let them get away with giving that false information or like missing information. I gotta like correct them and fix them. Or like if I feel they're being, in a sense, insensitive to my own values, let's say, for example, like they don't see the value in something that I do, and like they're like it's totally useless, and like let's say life is all about making money and like getting power. Like I gotta fight with that person for an hour until like I show them what I value and like why these things are also important and things like that.
So what's important to you? Because you just said like money and power is important to some other people. What's important to you?
Yeah. I guess being in good health, of course. I care about that too much. I smoke, drink, I got vices. But being in good health is very important, but also being around, not around necessarily, but like loving people that also love you back, and like animals, etc., connecting with people in a meaningful way, and animals too, or even the nature. And I also value these like abstract things, more concepts, like things like honesty or like being a virtuous person. and what do I say, intellectual person, or like understanding the value to explore things in depth. So those kinds of things, like being in tune with philosophy and learning those things, those are valuable to me.
Okay. Hey Shelly, do you want to start? Let's see what we agree on so far, and let's work down from there. And we can ask more questions from there. You go first, and I'll see if I agree with what you got.
Okay. Informative.
Yeah, I got informative. Yeah, big time informative. Big time informative.
Responding.
You got responding.
I did.
You got so you got outcome.
Yes.
You got outcome. Okay, so let's skip over that. Let's skip over that. So I got informative. I agree with informative. Okay. I got any SI. You got that?
Say that again.
You got any SI?
Yes.
Okay, so we agree. We agree with any SI. Informative any SI. Okay.
Here's FI. FI also. Sorry.
You got FI? I got FI, and then I got some FE. It was very weird because he was talking about connectiveness sometimes here and there. But we could skip over that and come back to that. So what we got right now is a form of any SI. Abstract as well. So what we're looking at is a ENFP, ENTP, INFP, or a INTP, right? That's what we're looking at. Those are the 4 types right now, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you think he's pragmatic or affiliative?
I was struggling with that. I thought I was. Sorry, I'm gonna look at my notes.
So,
I think I got affiliative.
Yeah, I think I got more affiliative, but I think he's progression. He didn't really talk about any outcomes here. I mean, I didn't see any outcomes, but we can keep going. But we got what we're looking at. I mean, the way he was talking.
I wasn't listening for that necessarily. I just was listening whether he was initiating, I guess.
Yeah. Okay. So.
Hearing that much, but.
I didn't get much of that, but sometimes you got
to very beginning.
You got to look for like the outcome versus progression because that's a little bit better. It's a little bit more segmenting. But we'll keep going. We're down to 4 types, man. What did you type as?
I got all of the things you said.
Huh?
I got ENFP, I got INTP, I got ENTP, and the other thing, INFP, whatever it is. All the NP types I got.
That's pretty cool. Okay, so that means we're going good here. That's perfect. That's perfect. We're gonna keep asking you. We're gonna keep asking you more questions, and try to get it down. And another. Oh, so we got 10 minutes left on this one.
Yeah,
but,
I got intro. I didn't mention that.
So the reason why I don't think he's an INFP or INTP is as soon as I said he was ready to go live, he was like, "Cool, do it." Like, you know. INFP? Oh no.
Well, he was asking you where it was going to be and whether he should say or whether he needed to talk about private things and
I saw that, but he wasn't like INFP it's pretty hard to get them like that. The last INFP girl, I was really shocked with her. But we can keep going. We got 10 minutes, so let's try to narrow it down as quickly as we can. So you really were talking about your feelings a lot. That was what we were picking up with the FI, right, Shelly? That's what you're picking up a lot, right? We were talking about his feelings a lot.
Yes, and that his worldview, the world has to be romanticized.
The world has to be romanticized, and he was talking about idealism. He says, "I like to see the good in everyone. And he said, I think I have good values and whatnot." So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and put him down for TFI. So we're good with ENFP and INFP between those two. ENFP and INFP, right? Right, Shirley? We're down to those two?
Yes.
He's an NF? Okay. So I just want to ask you like clear-cut question, man. When you do things, how do you go about them?
Anything?
Like if I was to say, teach me about English literature, how would you go about that?
Oh, I'm searching my memory first, of course, what I know, or like something that maybe I can, based on what I know from you, that something would catch your interest, especially that you would be more open to like learning as much as possible and like go with that. But like the way I explain things is like so winding. It's kind of chaotic. Like I think about something different as I speak. It branches out so much, but I kind of always come back and finish my argument. So I will just be talking a lot about those things with you. But I'm going to try to narrow it down to what I feel like you might be interested in. That's how I would explain.
Okay. So like, I want to like, what is? So you play a video game. You like video games, correct?
I used to, but my computer broke. Also, kind of like I feel like I'm wasting my life these days when I play video games, so I don't play as much.
Okay. But when you did play video games, how would you go about getting good at a video game?
I do research. Like I search about the best methods and stuff. Like what makes the most money, what's most experience. But also, like if it's something boring, I won't be doing that. I'll try to find something maybe more middle, closer to middle, and like do that if it's more fun. Like fun is the more important part. I'm not all about success and getting super good things.
Okay. So let's say if you're playing a fighting game, how would you approach the fighting game?
I would find the coolest looking move and try to do that as much as possible. And I would be more reactive, I think. I would try to observe what kind of fighting style the other person has. If, like, they don't do blocks, like I would go for like counter and then hit back. Or like if they're all defense, like I'd try to keep poking in and then running away. Like I'd base my style on that person.
Okay. So you give me a whole bunch of NE. I'm not even gonna lie. Like you're basically saying I react to them like water. Is essentially what you're saying, which is NESI. You're basically saying I react to them like water. But what I am picking up is that you don't have a desired outcome whenever you do things. That's what I'm picking up. And you did talk about chaos.
What do you mean?
So like there's two different types where it's where your focus lies, and let's say for an ENFP, the focus lies in the process. So they care about the process of how to do things. As an INFP, they care about the end result. So they're only looking at the end result. And you talked about having fun. You talked about having fun, and you talked about chaos. And those are proponents of progression or movement or process. Those are not.
I feel like it's kind of self-evident. Like the idea of, let's say, reading a book, you end it, finish it, then you don't touch it again. Or like video game, you finish it, you delete it. Or like at the end of the journey of life, you just die. So I guess any kind of value will become during it.
So that means your journey. You just explained that your journey focus just now. By the way,
I suppose so. Yeah.
Yeah, your journey focus. So that means you're an ENFP, man. You're an ENFP.
ENFP,
man.
I like that type.
And the reason why, because you just explained just now that you're journey focused. You're not outcome focused. You just said, going through life, like the end result is meaningless. The fun is in the journey. So you're journey focused. You're a TFI user. You care about your values and you romanticize the world with your idealism. You're very idealistic. You talked about in your relationship. You talked about that with the philosophy, the love for poetry, that type of stuff. You're very, very, very informative, and you're NESI, man. You respond to everything like water, man. Your approach to things is like water.
It's right, so yes.
My approach to things is like I try to burn everything down. Like I want to be the hottest fire, But
what type are you? ENTJ?
ENTJ, yeah.
Hell yeah, I typed you better.
Like my thought process is to burn somebody down. But yours works. I honestly I think y'all NESI works a lot better than SE because of the fact that anytime my brother's an ENTP and anytime we would fight, I would fight really hard at the beginning and he would just outlast it. And then when I'm like out of it, he just beat the shit out of me after that. So he kind of like reacted to like water, and I just went as hard as I could, burnt out, and then he just beat my ass after that. So that water, and Bruce Lee's big on being like that. He's an ENTP, so he believes in the same philosophy of being like water. So
that makes sense.
and reacting to a lot of things. But yeah, man. I hope you join our group, man. You're a pretty cool guy, man.
Thanks, man. I'd love to. I don't have Facebook, unfortunately.
Oh, you don't have
social
Facebook.
media. I got Discord. I can join Discord.
Okay, so we'll
like you said lots of things. For example, informative, etc., or like any kind of things, like anything other than MBTI itself. Like I'd like to know more about those things you said about me and explore more in depth. Like if you can give me like a writing about my typings and stuff, I'd appreciate that very much. Like a text.
Yeah. I'll send some stuff over to Cody because I'm not on the Discord with the CSJ group. I'll send you all the stuff I got. I got a lot of stuff from like this one's really good.
Awesome.
From Dario Nardi. It has like the ENFP stuff, and I can see the what he has in here from the ENFP stuff. So you can check it out and see if you agree or anything. Shelly, you got any last closing arguments? Huh?
Yeah, no. I'll
Huh?
I'll review it. I probably missed stuff because I'm taking notes. So.
Me too. I'm taking notes too.
Yeah.
It's all over. Yeah, man. Thank you. We're gonna.
Thanks so much, guys. Thanks for doing it like free and like it was very fun talking as well.
Yeah. We're gonna have a couple other people in our group look at it to make sure that we got the right type, and we'll reach out to you and make sure like we got everything. All right. Well, thank you. And what's your name again, brother?
Thanks so much. It's Onur.
Huh?
My name is Onur.
Amush?
It's
okay.
Turkish name.
Mercer and that's
Onur.
Shelly. Amush.
Onur.
O-N-M. Wait, say it again.
Omar?
Omar.
N-U-R. No, Onur.
Onur.
N-U-R. Yes, Onur.
Onur.
Yeah, it's tough name to say in questions. People usually